Warning from Castle Hills Police and the rush to get important items back to their rightful owners.
Keeping K-9 deputies safe, the new tactical gear that the Bexar County Sheriff's Office will be using, and the benefits for their K-9s.
You know that these are individuals that have dedicated their lives, been working for so long, serving children, never asking for much more than what they're getting. And I just feel this is our way to say, we want to recognize you.
A local school district is now part of a state program that increases pay for teachers. The impact on the education system.
Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
It began as a traffic stop and is now a theft investigation. Personal documents along with other belongings all stolen and found in Castle Hills yesterday. Police now working to return those items and warn the victims of possible identity theft.
The Night Team's Daphne Gray with details of the arrest and what you need to do if you find yourself a victim. It's tonight's Crime Fighters report.
What he was doing that really piqued my attention was as soon as I got behind him at the red light there at West in Jackson Keller, he was moving around a lot, reaching in the passenger side floorboard area and then also the driver's side door. We call these furtive movements.
Castle Hills officer Jose Morales says he was trying to pull over a driver who was going 60 miles per hour in a 35 on West Avenue.
He had moved around so much that for our safety and for his, we were going to pull him out and at least check for weapons.
He says they found a sawed-off shotgun in the passenger floorboard, but that's not all. Morales says they also found 27 grams of meth, drug paraphernalia, stolen jewelry, burglary tools, and several backpacks and purses. Inside those bags,
a lot of identifying documents, licenses, there were passports, there were checkbooks, and also some birth certificates and car titles, I believe.
A red flag that prompted this Facebook post urging people to check over their belongings, including credit reports, bills, and other digital items to ensure their identity has not been stolen. The Federal Trade Commission offers these tips to find out if you're a victim of identity theft: seeing random withdrawals from your bank account, not getting your bills or mail, finding unfamiliar accounts or charges on your credit report, and if merchants reject your checks. Officials say if that is the case, call your bank or car provider immediately to close those accounts. And if your ID has been stolen, replace them as soon as possible. Castle Hills police say they have turned over the stolen items to the San Antonio Police Department, which does have a property crimes unit that handles these kind of cases. If you are a victim of this crime, you're urged to call an SAPD substation. Live from Castle Hills, Daphne Gray, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Daphne. New on the Nightbeat, an innocent 10-year-old girl shot, being treated tonight at University Hospital. At last check, she was listed in critical condition. The Gillespie County Sheriff's Office says the child was hit as the gunman shot at a man, killing him in Fredericksburg yesterday. It happened at a home near Highway 87. Investigators say 30-year-old Esteban Mansaz Naras pulled up to the home just as the victims did. He is in jail tonight on 3 charges, including murder. Deputies say the suspect opened the car door and shot at the 33-year-old victim inside, killing him. The 10-year-old was shot in the stomach. The suspect's ex-girlfriend and another small child were also in the car at the time of the shooting, but were not hurt. Investigators say the gunman shot the victim because of a past incident, but an exact motive was not made clear.
A man's best friend can also be a deputy's best friend. They serve and protect alongside their Bexar County deputies. Now new advanced K-9 vests being used at the Bexar County Sheriff's Department. We've seen the dangers these 4-legged deputies face. One of them, named Chucky, dying after he was shot during a standoff in 2019. New pictures of these K-9 vests were posted on the Bexar County Sheriff's Facebook page. They are described as being lightweight, breathable, all while still remaining bulletproof. They're also tailored specifically for each K-9 and were paid for by donations made to the Bexar County Sheriff's Foundation. The Sheriff's Office says the K-9 deputies would be able to withstand the vest for the entire shift. It's unclear if that would be a new requirement, though. The Sheriff's Office has said K-9s don't wear vests due to overheating concerns. And at the time of Chucky's death, the Sheriff's Office said his handler didn't have an opportunity to put Chucky's vest on before he was deployed. We reached out to the Sheriff's Office to clarify what these new vests would mean for the department and their deputies. We're still waiting to hear back.
Several shooting investigations in San Antonio tonight. Police searching for the people involved in a drive-by shooting. One man was hit in both of his ankles. Officers say the victim was walking in the rain along Iowa Street when he was invited onto a porch to dry off early this morning. Officers say 3 people in a car pulled up and fired at the East Side property before driving off. The victim was taken to the hospital. In a separate case, officers looking into what they believe may have been an accidental shooting involving an AR-15. This was near an apartment complex on Sahara Drive. That's not far from San Pedro and 281. Police found a 20-year-old victim shot in the stomach. Witnesses told police a man was playing with the AR-15 when it went off. That man was last seen running into the complex and remains on the run tonight.
Another company now trying to gain full approval for its COVID vaccine. Moderna began its rolling submission to the Food and Drug Administration from its 2-dose vaccine studies. Pfizer began its process early last month. Both companies will keep their emergency use status as the FDA reviews the data. Meanwhile, the goal to get herd immunity, utilizing another strategy locally. Small neighborhood pop-up vaccine clinics happening around San Antonio to make vaccinations easier. Metro Health and its partners have increased the options available. To find a list of where these pop-up clinics will be located this week, head to KSAT.com.
A lot quieter outside tonight. You look at the radar, all we see are bats emerging from their cages. We have some clouds rolling overhead, but the odds of them dropping a shower or storm are very slim for the rest of the night tonight. So quiet out there, temperatures in the 70s right now. 74 Kerrville and Comfort, 77 San Antonio International, Randolph 76, and Hondo, you're at 74. Tomorrow morning, upper 60s, mainly gray, a calm wind, and of course, thick humidity. It may be quiet now, but our active weather pattern is going to awaken again soon. We're going to talk about that, especially when rain and storm chances peak. All that coming up, Steve.
Thank you, Adam. New technology may help combat the dangers of hot cars and a child forgotten inside. It only takes 10 minutes for a car to become dangerously hot on an 85-degree day. Every year, an average 38 children die in hot cars in the United States. In an effort to save lives, the Federal Communications Commission cleared the way for automakers to install in-car radar systems sensitive enough to detect breathing. They can monitor for children or pets and alert the driver.
More than just providing parents with a reminder to check the back seat, this new technology could actually detect an occupant.
Some cars already come equipped with various backseat reminder systems. The radar systems could do even more than that. Still, it's important to make it a habit to check the back seats. If you see a child in a locked car, call 911 and get help fast.
Pay raises for some local educators are expected later this fall. More than 2 more school districts in Bexar County are part of the second cohort of teacher incentive allotment designations. Statewide, more than 4,600 teachers will be getting approximately $43 million in extra pay as part of the state-funded program. The Night Team's Patty Santos tells us how the best teachers are now being recognized.
My goal is we got to reward every teacher. That's the goal. So we can't stop until we reward every single teacher. They've all earned it.
200 of about 3,000 San Antonio ISD teachers will get a raise next year as part of the state-sponsored teacher incentive allotment program.
In addition to their base salary, additional compensation directly funded by the state. We're also adding additional money.
Selected districts have developed a TEA-approved plan to objectively measure the effectiveness of teachers in the program. Other districts are part of the program because they have a national board-certified teacher. Designated teachers get a pay raise for 5 years. Each year, participating districts can add more teachers who meet the metrics.
We're building the systems this upcoming year, so they'll be all eligible at the end of next year.
The program compensates teachers in high needs or rural district systems where students do well.
Those areas really do struggle with attracting and potentially retaining your most effective teachers.
This next round, Bexar County teachers will get about $4.5 million. Districts like Somerset, selected for the first cohort last year, are doing well and adding more teachers.
They've seen not only increases in retention of their effective teachers, They've also seen increases in the recruitment of effective teachers.
Schools must use at least 90% of the money on teacher pay. The rest is up to their discretion.
We've committed to give all the funding directly to the teachers.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
And Somerset ISD, Harmony Public Schools, and the School of Science and Technology are the additional Bexar County school systems participating in the program. Again, there are also a few additional school districts receiving funds because they have national board teachers, which is an advanced teaching credential that goes beyond the state requirements.
Thank you, Patty. President Joe Biden recognizing Pride Month in a proclamation today. Progress acknowledged, but so were the limitations that still remain.
Steve and I will be hosting a town hall to discuss what Pride Month means for San Antonio and what challenges the LGBTQ plus community continues to face. We will be joined by two panelists for tomorrow's discussion. The virtual town hall begins tomorrow at 7 p.m. on KSAT.com.
And perhaps most importantly, we want to hear from you. If there is anything you would like to hear the panel discuss, send in your question right now on KSAT.com. You can also watch tomorrow's live stream on KSAT.com or on the KSAT TV app. Again, it begins at 7 o'clock.
Still ahead on the Nightbeat, new legislation signed into law today. The measure that will affect local governments and police budgets coming up.
And have you seen this video? A bear in a backyard. Why one teenager was racing towards danger. Coming up.
Plus, new details on the wanted man that crashed after a chase with Bexar County deputies. What an arrest warrant is revealing. Next on the Nightbeat. An arrest warrant shedding more light on a chase that ended in a crash near Converse yesterday. A mugshot for Brandon Jamal Miller released tonight. A warrant issued for his arrest alleges Miller met up with someone to buy a pair of Jordan shoes and a PlayStation 5 at a gas station in Windcrest. That was back in December. Officers say Miller took the items before paying the full amount for them. Just yesterday, Bexar County deputies caught up with the wanted man near Converse. Miller crashed the car he was in. He faces several charges, including being a felon in possession of a firearm.
Governor Greg Abbott signing several pieces of legislation to prevent what he calls reckless decisions. One of those measures centers around the budgets of law enforcement. Senate Bill 23 requires voters to approve any reduction in law enforcement budgets as long as the counties they serve in have a population of more than 1 million. If a reduction is not approved and the county still reduces the budget, the state would be able to freeze the county's property tax revenue. All right, did you see this video on your social media feed today? A bear and its cub caught in the backyard of a home in Southern California. See it on the wall? The surprise visitor caught the attention of the family pets who ended up barking at the bear. 17-year-old Haley Moranico ran to the scene and tried to protect her mother's service dog and 3 other pups. There she is, ended up pushing the bear off the wall, grabbing one of the dogs and running back into the home. Haley lucky to make it out with only a small scratch. She and all of the dogs are okay.
That was my first time seeing that video. My goodness, brave woman.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
I kept thinking, don't do it, don't do it.
Right, I was thinking the same
I
thing.
mean, think about it. If it's somebody you love or your animal, you're gonna protect
I knew what was coming, and I was just like, oh man, is she really gonna do this? Anyway, beautiful shot of the Frost Tower downtown, and not raining once the sun goes down.
Sky 12 is up tonight.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not raining out there right now. It's kind of nice to have a little break in the activity, especially during the nighttime hours. Hey, let's take a look at our weather headlines. Obviously a quieter night, but more storms are in the forecast. I think we'll see some activation as we get into tomorrow afternoon. The aquifer, I love this third and final headline. It's up over 21 feet since April 21st, when the sky then opened up and the rains came to us. Actually, May was a great month. Take a look at this. Look at the month of May. The vast majority of it, about 2/3 of it, had at least a trace of rain. So over 6 inches for the month, and that's 1.74 inches above average. When you factor in what we had last night after midnight, so January 1st basically, and late April, we've had 11.5 inches of rain. Of course, that's at San Antonio International Airport, our official climate reporting site. You look at the past 24 hours, healthy rainfall again, generally south of Highway 90. We're talking some big time accumulations. Our weather watcher in Santa Maria measured over 2 inches of rain. Same with Warren and Del Rio. He measured over 2 inches of rain and a 70+ mile per hour gust last night. Back to precipitation, though. Look at the 30-day percentage of normal. So to give you an idea, if you're at 100%, you're basically right at normal. You're right at average. San Antonio, 173%. Get along the coastline, Beeville, Victoria, over double the 30-day average. So we're doing much better. We've made up a lot of lost ground in the precipitation department. Right now, we just have some clouds rolling overhead, a lot of them coming from decaying thunderstorms over Mexico. Some activity in West Texas. This is where we need the rain the most, and we're seeing a little bit of activity out there, not just today, but even over the past couple of days. Quieter across the state in general today compared to what we had yesterday, but a little dip in the upper level flow dropping in, and we've got this swirl over the Baja Peninsula. So it's an active weather pattern. We have disturbances out there. Upper level energy being thrown our way from the Pacific and a little bit coming in from the northwest as well. So we will have some widely separated pop-up afternoon showers the next couple of days. But look, as we get into late Friday and into Saturday, that's when the upper level swirl moves right overhead, and I think that's going to organize things a little bit better and give us more numerous showers and thunderstorms for Friday night, and on into Saturday. So tomorrow afternoon, we'll give it a 40%, so scattered in nature, widely separated. That's a good way to put it. And then even on into Thursday, similar, but by Friday night, Saturday, we're boosting it up. We think they'll be the most numerous and widespread at that point, so 60%. Today started near 70. 69 exactly, and then a high temperature of 85, which is below average. And after midnight, we had just over a tenth of an inch, or just over 2/10 of an inch of rain. Feel that humidity. Dew points for the most part right around 70. And not only is it moist and muggy here at the ground, but even upstairs above us, we're really increasing that humidity. And that's going to lead to some downpours in the days ahead. Temperatures right now for the most part in the 70s. We'll start the day tomorrow at 68, make it up to the mid 80s by the afternoon. Not much of a breeze out there until we get a few thunderstorms developing. There is the off chance of a severe storm tomorrow. For the most part, I think we'll be seeing some basically sporadic and periodic areas of heavy rain that contain some lightning and thunder tomorrow afternoon into Thursday, and then particularly, as we talked about, Friday night and on into Saturday. Seems like the highest odds of the most numerous showers and storms.
All right, thank you, Adam.
All right, his body told him it was time to retire. His mind still hasn't come to grips with that, though.
And you can't blame him. This is something LaMarcus Aldridge has done for most of his life. And in one moment, one game, it all comes to a crashing end. How has that left him? Well, he told us this is the scariest night of his life and what resulted. He told The Athletic today, and we'll have details about that. And the Roadrunners will be at full capacity for their 2021 football season. Coming up. Former San Antonio Spur LaMarcus Aldridge recounts the scariest night of his life that led to his unexpected retirement from the NBA in April, never reaching the finals in his career. That's what he told The Athletic in his first interview since abruptly leaving the game. He loves doing an irregular heartbeat. Aldridge played 5 seasons for the Spurs before having his contract bought out by the team in March when he was benched from the starting lineup. He was picked up by the Brooklyn Nets to help a contender for the NBA championship, but in a game against the Lakers on April the 10th, his irregular heartbeat lasted the entire game, forcing him to go to the hospital early the next morning. After that, he was done. But his decision to give up basketball has admittedly left him depressed, since it's what he had done for the last 15 years professionally. LaMarcus found out that he suffered from Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome when he's passed out on the bench back in 2006. And when he played for the Spurs, we know 3 times when he's affected by the rapid and irregular heartbeat, but now it has ended his career on the court.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
The Houston Texans has signed former New England Patriot running back Rex Burkhead, becoming the 9th expatriate to join the Texans, the 7th person now in the running back room. No surprise here, since the Texans' new general manager, Nick Caserio, had every position from personal assistant to offensive coaching assistant to scout director of player personnel, starting way back in 2001 before he was hired by the Texans this year. Burkhead played the last 4 seasons, including 10 games in 2020, before he injured his knee, ironically in a game against the Texans. Texans at 30. It gives the Texans more choices to improve the running game, which ranked dead last in the league last year. The UTSA Roadrunners have announced that they will be at full capacity in the Alamo Dome when they kick off their 2021 football season under second-year head coach Jeff Traylor. That's after they had to play at only 17% capacity for the entire season last year, or 11,000 or less fans. But after 7 big wins during the pandemic and making their second ever bowl appearance, the Roadrunners are expected to attract many more fans this year, especially with the restrictions lifted. A new San Antonio Sports Fiesta event next. The Judson softball team is going where no Rockets softball team has gone before, and that's to the state tournament that will feature the Class 6A semifinals on Friday. It's after the Rockets were able to sweep Austin Bowie to win the Region 4 championship. After the game had to be postponed after a scoreless first inning, moved from Buda to Somerset due to rain. The Rockets winning Game 2 after having to come from behind again, down 3-0. The Rockets rebounded to tie the game at 3-all, and then Mimi Thornton singled in at catcher Ari Alejandro to take the lead in the 6th and eventually the 4-3 victory. Now they face Rockwall, who is at 31-7 on Friday compared to Justin's 34-2 overall record.
A lot of emotions are going on because, of course we want to win, and we just have to prepare for ourselves and not be nervous and just treat it like any other game.
It's so exciting. I would never thought, us coming out here and going so far, us having so much potential and being out here. It's really exciting.
Batter up on Friday between Judson and Rockwall set for 4 p.m. at the Red and Charlene McCombs Field in Austin. Meantime, the D'Hanis Cowgirls are going up against Gale Border County in the Class 1A state semifinal game today after the COVID-19 pandemic did not allow them to defend their 1A state title last year. Bats come alive in the top of the 3rd, trailing 1-0. Mabry Herman knocks a base hit into left. Kayla Looper scores. We're tied at 1. Next batter, Marissa Santos drills one deep to the gap in right center. Herman comes home, part of a 3-run inning, and D'Hanis leads 3-1. Top of the 7th. Same score. Tony Burrell adds an insurance run with this RBI double to right. Cowgirls are going back to the state title game. 4-1 is the final.
We've been here before, we won it before, so now we got to do it again. That's basically what's just expected. We know our capabilities, we know what we can do, so all we got to do is play like we know how, and I think we'll get the job done.
To come back and be here at this moment, and we're still not done. But to be here after everything that these kids, this community has been through, it's awesome. We're excited. We're excited for tomorrow, 4 o'clock.
He said it himself. The state championship game tomorrow at 4 against Dodge City. We'll be there for that. San Antonio Sports announcing today Fiesta Fit Fest. This multi-sport event will debut next year between April the 8th and 10th, 2022, the last weekend of next year's Fiesta. The event will be headlined by La TAP San Antonio Tour de France, which is a world-class amateur cycling event aligned with the famous French cycling race that will headline with a 100-mile race, but also there will be other distances of 60 and 25 miles of the family tour and kids rides as well. Fiesta Fit Fest will also include a 5K and a 10K run, Alpha Warrior Fitness Challenge, Wellness Expo with food and music.
11 years ago, we helped bring the Rock and Roll Marathon to town. That changed our community health-wise and got many, many people running. We believe that the cycling event and what we're doing with the Fit Fest event will get many more people active and healthy. And that's our main goal. We want to have fun during Fiesta, but we also want to shine a light on fitness for Fiesta.
Great to hear. Cycling fans can register now at tapsanantonio.com, and details about the event can be found at fiestafitfest.com as well. So something for everybody next Fiesta. We're all building this up next year. This is going to be great.
The Fiesta Fit Fest sounds like a fistful of fun.
It sure does.
Thank you, Greg. We'll be right back.
We're not looking at continuous rainfall, but there will be periods of scattered showers and storms developing. It's what we've been used to, I guess, over the past month or so. And that's going to be the case tomorrow afternoon. Then again, we'll see some pop up on Thursday. I think more coverage and more numerous showers and storms by Friday night, even on into Saturday. But hey, look, that keeps the temperatures down. We're not even hitting 90 in this extended forecast.
I'll take it.
Thank you, Adam.
That's it for the Nightbeat GMSA at 4:30.
Good night.